Gabe, wow, what a night. Thank you, Mr. President, for such an eloquent speech. And we're seeing some people suggesting it may be time to reconsider some post-9/11 security measures. John Dresner tweeted, "If Osama bin Laden is dead, can we please have our rights back?" So, Rosemary, the tweets are moving at a pretty rapid clip right now, and we'll have much more for you in the next hour.
They most certainly are. Pauline Chu, thanks for keeping an eye on that. And I just want to let everybody know that the Afghan president is actually speaking at this time, Hamid Karzai. Now, we will get a translation of this, of course, and bring you the details as they come into us, but we're keeping a very close eye on that. Of course, his reaction to the news today that Osama bin Laden is dead.
Yes, they've had a very tense relationship between Mr. Karzai and Mr. Obama. Maybe it'll get a little bit better after the events today.
Indeed, we shall see what he has to say. Well, let's talk more about this successful operation in Pakistan now.
We're joined now by a retired Brigadier General Mark Kimmett, a former U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for Political and Military Affairs. General Kimmett, thanks for being with us live in our Washington Bureau at this late hour. We appreciate it. If you can just walk through how this operation played out. It started with intelligence back in August, and then it's gone through a series of months. Finally, the president authorized action, and then they got bin Laden. That seems like an awfully long time frame.
Well, it's really not. If you take a look at the intelligence cycle, going from information to intelligence to targetable intelligence to actionable intelligence, it takes a long time to develop that intelligence to where you can actually target and act upon it. So I'm not surprised it took that long, and I think the success of the mission indicates it probably was time well spent in developing the target set.
And talking of time, what is extraordinary is the whole operation apparently took 40 minutes. Run us through what would have happened, from this helicopter raid to the point at which the bullets went through the head of Osama bin Laden, as we're hearing.
Well, it's not always helpful to talk about tactics, techniques, and procedures, but as you can imagine, they probably isolated the compound with a force both outside, and then you brought in some very specialized forces, either Navy SEALs or Joint Special Operations Forces, to actually do what is in the vernacular called door kicking. Went in very quickly, subdued the target, got the target set out of there, and they got out of there as quickly as possible before any potential reinforcements or other assistance could be brought in to fight the Americans. The fact that there were no casualties, the fact that there were no injuries at all among the Americans, as I understand, is testimony to how well trained and frankly, how well experienced these forces are.
And when we look at the intelligence and all the information which is slowly coming out about this compound where bin Laden was living, it was a massive compound built maybe 5 years ago, huge tall fences, and bin Laden had been there with his youngest wife maybe since late last year. Could there be any doubt that someone within the Pakistani government or within the Pakistani intelligence knew that bin Laden was there?
Well, I certainly don't know that to be the case. It would be hard to believe that a person of such significance, such as Osama bin Laden, who also travels with a fairly large entourage, that they could be inside that compound without some local knowledge, local official knowledge. But I don't know that to be the case. But it would be hard to believe that that wouldn't be the case.
And what do you make of the fact that he was actually, that they got him in a mansion as opposed to in a cave in the frontier area?
Well, I think it goes back to your earlier comment about whether he was getting external support or not. All indications, the fact that he was not living in a cave would mean that he was not operating independently, but that he was getting assistance and aid and comfort from others either in that area or from abroad.
And so a lot of people celebrating, certainly in the United States and across the globe, not everywhere, of course. But is this the beginning? Is this the end? I mean, really, can people be celebrating at this point? Because this isn't the end of what Al-Qaeda promises for the future, is it?
No, it certainly doesn't. And